how's it going? It's Grant
and Shelby
with the Garden of Eater, and today we are celebrating our 40,000 subs on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Let's dive right on into it. To start it off, we're going to give away a $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com. What do you guess? Hashtag 40K as the old hashtag to get in, I guess. And
the old hashtag to get so,
we'll just dive right into today's discussion.
A lot more natural. We're really hitting this on the head. You know, we're doing so good at this.
Spent a lot of time in the sun today, all right? We're running it. So, hashtag 40K to get in on the $25 gift card. And then basically I've got a smorgasbord of updates to catch you guys all up on. It's been a week, I'll just say that. Gotten a lot done. To start it off, one of my objectives since like last November, maybe before that, because I started it before the insurance thing happened. So maybe October, right when it started to get cool, I was like, all right, let's get this stuff down out in the greenhouse. Basically, I condensed it. I took out most of the barrels. I left in 2 barrels because there's room for those and not room for anything bigger. I took out all the turtle tubs. I took out the half-cut IBC tubs, and then moved all the IBC totes to one side, got more in on one side, and then filled in the rest with the tough stuff, kind of like cow trough style ponds. But got in 210 gallons, 440 gallons, and 180 gallon to kind of round off the entire greenhouse. We got sponges in them, almost all of them cycling. There is one pond that is missing one of the filters just because the store didn't have enough, and I can't really find anywhere else that has 180 gallon rated sponge sponge filters. So we're waiting on the one. We've got an air stone on it though, so no mosquitoes or anything like that, but it's a really good feeling. The gravel's all raked out, and I'm probably going to let it run another few days, and before the next live stream, I will have some shrimp in each one of the tubs. I don't want to say like test subjects, but definitely the first run of shrimp, we'll throw in maybe 25 to 40 of them before we throw in a decent size amount into all of the tubs. So really happy to get that taken care of. Saw a lot of chats coming up. Whatever questions you guys have, it is open discussion tonight. Feel free to ask away. But we do have a bit to talk up on too. So anything for me? Should I move on to the next one?
Move on for now.
All right. So while moving the turtle tubs out of the greenhouse, I had the perfect setup in mind for the Diamondback terrapins that were in the greenhouse. Reason why they're in the greenhouse is they were tiny, and there's cats in the neighborhood, there's possums, raccoons in Florida, and I definitely did not want the small turtles to be prey of anything. So the greenhouse gave them some extra protection. However, now they're about as big as the male terrapin will get in its full age. They've got pretty decent shell structure. The tub's also like 4 foot high, so it's not easy to get into. And once upon a time, we bred chameleons, and I had a 6 foot by 7 foot by 6 foot cage built into the greenhouse. But we took that apart to put more shrimp tubs in it. But Shelby even gave me a little compliment saying how well it stood. and lasted even being outside in the sun in Florida for this many years. But I was able to take one of these sides and it fit perfectly over the shrimp tub. And I was able to clamp that over the top. So 100% no predators can get into the shrimp tub, no birds or anything like that. And that was what I was the most worried about. But the kids helped me move out all these tubs. Layla got into the tub and helped move out all the water, dumped it out of the greenhouse for me. Shelby thinks that she was walking around and might have cracked one of the tubs while she was in there. But regardless, that had been done. If I was the one walking around in it, I would have just cracked it even worse. But the tub has been cracking for a while now. It's old. I bought it used. I don't know how long Frankie had it. He definitely didn't buy it brand new either. So we're like third or fourth hand of having this pond, and it's definitely starting to dry rot. So whether Layla walked on it or not, I think with just moving it on its side, my only help was Jaden and Layla, and so they pretty much pushed it once it got onto the. We have this weed landscape fabric layer that goes weed barrier protector down the back of the house. So we kind of just pushed it along that into its spot. And then once we started filling up with water, I realized that it was kind of dumping out one of the sides, saw a crack, talked with a couple people. Jesse, just one more fish, suggested that I try out some flex tape. We don't have anyone local to get any flex tape. And then Shelby looked it up, and it was going to be like 15 days or so that we could get it off of Amazon. However, I was at Home Depot, and I saw that they had some clear or white. It's white. It's definitely not clear. Flex seal spray. And it was only $15, and I figured it was worth trying it out. We did pretty much 3 coats. I waited 24 hours in between each coat and used up the entire can. There was a little crack on the top that I'm not worried or concerned about, since we don't really fill up the tub the entire way because I don't want the turtles climbing out. If you know how good turtles can climb, they are insanely good climbers. So definitely want the pond drained about halfway. It's got a little bulkhead on it with a PVC tube on it, so I can use that for my water changes. The whole turtle setup itself is incredible. It's got 2 sponge filters on it, and because of the system, the closed loop airline system that I have in the backyard, I just drilled right into that, right behind the tiki bar. The next thing I'm going to do is run a gutter system, and I found a really nice crafty video like 2 hours ago on Facebook on a gutter system that I'm going to run.
Crafty video, let me just explain. Looks like 5-minute crafts if you ever watch those.
But hey, it's not like a serious gutter system. There's a metal roof slapped onto 4 walls, and it's called a tiki bar that I'm trying to make a gutter off of. So it's not going to collect a ton of rain, but with the bulkhead system and everything like that, I'm not too worried about it. I just got to put something over the PVC pipe to stop the platies from getting washed away now that we have thrown some platies out there.
Foxy Fishes member for 6 months. Thank you so much. Says congratulations on 40K.
Yeah, thank you, Foxy. Appreciate that.
And Kayla,
I'm so happy for this fan for you, but like, oh my god, this hair is getting me.
I'm so sorry.
You gotta
my favorite
over
comment.
this way so it goes that way, please, next time.
Bugsy says Shelby looks like she's trying to sell shampoo hot down there. It is extremely hot. Like everyone else is fine. I am burning up. Like I cannot like catch a break. I just feel like an ant under a magnifying glass. Everyone else is fine in the house. Kalish, member for 12 months. Congratulations. Says 40K. Congratulations. You both are awesome. Thank you so much. Don't forget, if you did hit that 12-month membership, to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com so we can ship out your member-only print that you get at 12 months. And we never have one here.
I think
No.
I think I can see
Good
one.
luck.
Hold on.
What
No,
was that?
it's a Pokemon card. Oh,
Yeah, I asked Jaden if my books were being held up anymore. He said, yeah, they were.
the Baby Yoda's
Oh, they're
gone.
here. Yeah. I don't know.
These
But,
kids.
yeah, the Garden
It's
of
summer
Eden.
vacation, and I think they have full reign of the house now.
Yes, they're insane. And we'll get that mailed out to you. So thank you so much. My hair does look crazy. It's hilarious.
And then on top of getting the Diamondback terrapins out of the greenhouse, we also got the musk turtles out of there also. And they're all males. I was noticing they're a little getting territorial, so I split them up into separate tubs. And then because it is June and it is months into tubbing season, especially here in Florida, right? Like other people are up north are like, I put my fish outside months ago. What are you doing, Grant? It's just been a very, very rough year, and we've gotten a lot done, and the guppies are easy to take care of and whatnot inside, but I moved around all the tubs. They're in the places that I want now. We actually situated them in a line going back behind our tiki bar, so the dogs still have a pretty decent backyard to run around and play in, but now I've got more of it blocked off that we can do other grow tubs and even like do some vegetables and stuff like that. We had gone to a hydroponic store like we had talked about on the last live stream to get Shelby some vegetables for our aquaponics setup that's going to go on our high-tech Caridina shrimp tank. They didn't have any starters. I got some rock wool. I got some seeds. But Shelby's still like, no, we got to do something better than that. So we need to look up like an online store that we can get like already started hydroponic plants. Or maybe like there's a bigger store in Tampa
I'm just
or
going to do it
something
like
like
everybody
that.
else is
But
going to
like,
do it.
what if we
Go to
even
Home
went
Depot,
to
rinse them out,
what if we even went to
flush them.
Whole Foods and got whatever is already started and grow them out of that? Because Jennifer had whatever for Father's Day that once it had the little bucket taken off, but it was, you could tell it was the root nest of like the butter.
Vibes Aquatics, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. It says congrats 40K. Woo, love y'all. Hashtag best friends. Thank you so much for being here, and thank
Appreciate
you so
it, Vibes.
much.
Thank you very much.
Everyone's comments.
Did we already
hilarious.
say thank you to Garcia for the one membership?
That's what I was trying. No, I was in. You're really bad with reading. You
Oh.
need glasses.
It's Big Steve.
Thank you so much, Big Steve.
Big Shrimpin'. Okay.
Gifted.
Why would you
one of the
give up
Garden
a
of
name
Eden
like Big
membership.
Shrimpin'?
Oh,
It's such a good name, man.
Because
You gotta
it's not
take it back.
universal. That's why our name is the Garden of
know.
Eater, not the
But
Garden
he
of
could
Shrimp.
be Big Shrimpin' and just the guy that feeds shrimp to all his fish. It still works.
You're ridiculous. Thank you so much. Anyone who does get gifted a membership, you do get the member only sticker as well. Just make sure to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com. You get your member only discount code as well when you get the sticker. Thank you so much, Steve.
So I was talking about moving all the guppies outside. It's been a year. We've been super busy, but everything's in place. There's a good amount of food and guppy grass and whatnot for all of the fish to really thrive out there. So they've got until November before we can move them back inside, or we have to move them back inside anyways. So
Their tanks will be ready by then.
yeah.
Coro says, if you were going to quit your day job and start breeding something for profit, what would it be and why is it newts?
It wouldn't
I
be
love
newts.
You want to
As-
make a living off of newts. You would be able to, like, you know, maybe get some game money or like some spending money for newts, but you wouldn't be able to live off newts. Most people who breed newts breed like salamanders, turtles, snakes, everything and above in the reptile community. There's no one that specifically just does newts.
I think you
and
could
makes a
do it
living.
if you were like a teenage college student or something like that, and you started small with some very rare newts and then
You have
expanded.
rare ones.
But I've got kids to take care of. I've got Shelby to take care of. Newts aren't going to cut it unless we took
I
over
can
somebody's
take care of
entire
myself.
operation. So, yeah, but like we're not going to like throw this all away to do newts. It wouldn't be that.
But we will be adding them.
The most logical thing would be like guppies, like really high end quality pairs of guppies. That would be the only thing that I would see being like profitable as much as we are. And then plants, of course, too. Like I'm almost gonna think that maybe next year we are gonna have just as much sales for plants as we will for shrimp, and that we're not even close right now. So
yeah, it takes a lot to pick something up like that. Most businesses, especially in any hobbyist kind of business, it takes years to build it up from the ground and breed something. Most people that make a profit, honestly, are people that flip things, but you get the bad and good on that. You get a lot of, loss with that because a lot of times you're importing or getting it from someone, and a lot of those animals die. They don't do well.
I think you could also do it with Corys and Plecos. I think there's a really good market for Plecos.
It's ridiculous how many people want Plecos.
And Corys as well. So
Corys I can understand. They're adorable. Every single one of them, and always a good little filter for the sand.
And if you've watched or seen Dean's talk, he'll go on about using angelfish as a currency. So I think you can do it with things like that are in high demand in pet stores if you're able to breed the numbers like we breed for the shrimp. But man, it's so easy with shrimp. I would never give it up.
Yeah. And Grant, I was joking the other day that I'm dwindling down on some of my fish species and doing some of the ones that I tend to do really well with. And I even looked at it and I was like, man, that fish room's starting to sound more like a shrimp room. And and he just started laughing because, we just did all that work. We're going to remodel anyways. We don't like those metal stands, but like to just redo it and not do fish would be funny.
I really don't think there's going to be fish in it.
No, I will always have. I have beta fish that I definitely want to do.
But you'll have a garage.
The whole garage.
So I think the fish are just going to go out there. And the shrimp are just gonna stay in the house.
The thing is, so the room will be a fish room because it will be winter time. When the winter comes, all the guppies, endlers, and stuff like that will go back on into that room, regardless if I don't do things. But let's get to that first giveaway.
Yeah, I'm trying to do one every 15 minutes. We're behind the ball already.
Always. Let me refresh this and share screen. Remember, hashtag 40K to get into this $25 gift card giveaway.
Last chance.
All right. 42 in. Spin that wheel.
Big Steve's glass box.
Big Steve. Make sure you comment down below to claim your prize. This is the one I'm going to write down because this happens every time. You didn't get this one right?
Maybe he's not here because he's changing his name back to Big Shrimpin'.
Let's see. There he is.
Oh.
Congratulations on that $25 gift card. Make sure you email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com, and I will get that to you as soon as possible. And let's move those.
All right, we're going to start it off with the worst Sam Scales print. We've got 4 of them to give away tonight. It is the 40K giveaway. So hashtag Sam Scales.
Like,
the worst one is, of course.
Get out of here. I love this one. I have this one personally for myself as well. So.
There's a hidden message on the back.
Because I told you about that already. But it's okay. We're going to go on with that.
Okay.
So make sure you hit did do. Oh my goodness gracious! Hashtag Sam Scales to win this beautiful mystery snail.
It's not that beautiful. It's a snail.
Beautiful.
It's a snail.
I mean,
It's a good drawing.
without the
but
crack,
it's
it would
just a
be
snail.
a lot more beautiful. Improper nutrition on that snail, okay? Sorry. Go
Yeah.
on.
All right. Another thing that we got in the upgraded area or aisle is a new hose for the water changes. Shelby brought home a 1-inch hose from West Marine, right? 1 inch.
I can't remember if it's 1 inch. No,
believe
I think it
it's-
is 1
I
inch.
believe it's 1
It's
inch.
huge.
And it's a 100
It's on our
footer.
table, actually.
It's a 100 footer.
You should get it. It would probably fill up this entire screen. It's
I'll get it
it's got
later.
water in it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice, fresh, clean water. But yeah, it's 100-foot, huge spool. Thankfully, I get a discount, so it's a really nice hose. It does really well outside because it's actually UV protected as well because it is marine grade. So it is nice, but ridiculous. Looks like overkill for sure.
And my buddy at Doobie's Pet World sells these stainless steel mesh guards at the shows that we do. And at the last show, I looked at them. I was like, I'll take them all because they're wonderful and they don't suck up baby shrimp. And Han is the only one that has anything close to these, and he stopped making them. And I've tried to get him to make more, but he will not get to it. So I bought all the ones from Doobie's Pet World, and it fits perfectly on this new hose. I don't know if I'm going to cut the hose yet or not. I might keep it the full length so that way I can easily do water changes throughout the entire house, drain it all into the pool, and not waste any of that water. But it's the second one for the house. So we already have one. It's a little bit smaller, doesn't drain as fast, but I'll have 2 siphons running now at the same time. Instead of it taking me like, I don't know, an hour and a half to drain some of the stands, it'll only take me hopefully like 40 minutes. Hopefully less than half the time.
All right. We are super far behind in chat, so we're going to skip this for now. Focus on chat real quick. Scotty the Fish Freak says, finally tested my tap at the new house. 6.6 pH, 0 KH, and 200 GH. I don't know if you did that right. But how
So
is
he
this
might
for
be
shrimp?
using the test strips.
Oh,
to get
yeah,
that.
okay.
So
How is this for shrimp for Caradina, or do I still need to buy from the store?
I would be okay with it if the KH is absolute 0, but if you're using test strips, I would get the API drops or the Sarah drops or something like that to get an exact reading on your KH. But 20 GH, if that's what it equals out to, if you get the drops, is a little high. So I'd be more interested in what your TDS is.
Rusty said, evening guys, I just had an algae outbreak in my tank, the kind that looks like green fuzz. I took out my Airstone and I'm using a phosphate filter media. What do you guys do?
So I'm thinking it's just Kleb, and in the beginning of the shrimp cycle, I don't really worry about it too much. When we got back from Texas, the Aqua L high-tech Caradina tank will look disgusting, and I was like, that's not gonna look good for the update video. But like a week later, it's crystal clean, looks great. It just took a second for that cycle to kick in. You can suck it up if you don't like it, siphon it out, remove it by hand. But I would make sure that you stay true with the actual filter that's in there. The phosphate filter media, if you took out other media to replace that, not the best option.
All right. Laura LJ Shrimp says, I have a question. In my blue bowl tank, I have 2 babies that don't look blue. Almost just white whale. Color change, or is it maybe red bowl? Blue bolts originally came from you and are really dark.
Yeah, they would be if they came from us, then they are actually red bolts. We get red bolts from all 3 of our blue bolt colonies.
But they're just babies, and they look white. So they
Yeah.
could still be blue steels.
Well, they're more than likely probably going to be red bolts. So you could also get a white bolt, but I haven't gotten any of those out of my colony at all. So I guess it's possible still, though.
Dr. Anthony says duct tape works.
For what?
The pond, probably.
I
Crown
don't know
tail.
about that.
Is proud of your achievements. Thank you so much. And then there was Johnny says, what kind of plants are those in the tank behind you, top level? I'm assuming you mean these ones, which are, they actually say it on there. Can you read it?
The Laguidia.
It's an orange or something.
It's Laguidia dark orange.
A passing wind. It would be funny to put a red wig on Grant with the fan.
Yeah, it's Laguidia
Welcome
dark orange.
in, Robin Cherie. I'm glad you can join us tonight. Missing you guys already. Thank you so much. Johnny said, "What your hair so Grant Grant won't kill you or won't kill you."
Well, what?
Oh, so you won't kill Grant with my hair because you'll be
like-
choking on it.
People think I'm so brutal. Huh?
No, I'm the mean one. Eduardo, member for 21 months. Thank you so much. Says 21 months. What do I get? A trip to the pool? No, you do get your. Did you get your membership print yet? Because I'm pretty sure I sent that in the last package. If not, just make sure to email us and I'll make sure to get that out. And then you're almost 24 months, which means we'll have another print, hopefully. If not, we'll have to think of another idea if that doesn't pan out, and we'll have to send those out. You do get different codes as well. Once you're a 12-month member, you do get a 20% discount code. And then 24 months, we are going to be doing another code as well. And Craig's Catfish Cave, member for 17 months. Thank you so much.
Did you ever go to Nick's and get your T-shirt? I did give them to him. I don't know if I ever told you he has them.
Yeah, you have. You've asked a couple times. Coro says just get the plants from Home Depot. You won't even need to rinse them out. You grow the bed will catch most of the... It's not for the grow bed. It's for our hydroponic system, which is going in with the Caridina. And there's a lot of pesticides that are used in the plants. So that was our main concern. But I would also think that doing a flushing video would be very useful for people that don't want to go to their weird stores that some people don't have Whole Foods.
Weird.
Some people don't have hydroponics. Some people don't have Whole Foods and stuff like that. But we most likely have a Home Depot or Lowe's. So to show you to go through there and then flush your plants, to put them into something like this would be very useful. So that's my thing. And
I'm not too worried about the fertilizers. I'm more worried about the pesticides that they use to keep ants and stuff out of the... unless we put the plants in and then let the tank run for like a month. Throw in some Aquachar.
Throwing the oxen.
Don't try.
I tried. You said it so weird. Doctor said, no need to do starters, just sprout yourself. Yeah, see, we were going to do it from seed, but I feel like it's going to take too long, and people just want to see a nice overall product. They don't care to see your little tiny sprout and your hydroponics and check up on it in like 6 months, okay? They want to see it full, how it will look, and that's going to get you to like want that product. Lady Diane, member for 9 months. Thank you so much. Says, woot, congrats. Thank you so much. Missing you too.
Thank you, Miss Diane. Appreciate it.
And then I'm trying to
I
catch
don't know why I
up.
said Miss Diane. I'm so sorry. Lady Diane. So, I did.
Vibes, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Says, I thought Shelby took care of Grant. We mutually take care of each other. Like when I'm slacking, he picks up the slack, and I'm hoping to do the same for sure. We've definitely, over the years, Grant definitely took care of me in the beginning. I was very young, and that sounded wrong.
I
We're not
was an
that far.
old man, and I found her
That young
desperate,
lady at the
struggling for attention.
He definitely took care of me in the beginning. It took me a long time to get to a point. I mean, not very long in some of my jobs, but for sure. And then we've shared it, and he wants to be able to just take care of me. Honestly, like he's very good at spoiling me. But thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat.
And then, since all of you are watching today, you get a little bit of a sneak peek of the next thing I was going to talk about. I know so Shelby said, jump back into chat. I can't wait anymore. I want to show people. So this is my tank that I set up. It's a Shrimp 30, and the picture on the webcam really doesn't do it justice. I probably should have sent it into the...
Oh, send it to me on Facebook. That would be the best.
All right,
best
we'll
way.
do it.
Tube Dog says, how often do you clean your sponges in the tank? So we don't normally clean the sponges. Now we will be doing maintenance videos to explain how we do this and why we do it. But in overall, when we see the bubbles or the filter not going properly, so if it's slowing down, we will clean it. Most of the time, it's not even the sponges that are a problem. It's actually where the airline tube goes into the actual sponge filtration system itself. You're laughing and watching me struggle tonight.
I can't think of the word either. That's why I'm like...
just the system, you know. So we usually just, you know, I take them out and I power wash through it just to clean out all that gunk because it really gets a lot of mold built up into it. So it'd stop it from working. And like my fish tanks, I do tend to clean those sponge filters a lot more. But with shrimp tanks, they really do like that more of more biofilm, and it's a little bit more settled. And I think tanks do really well with it. If we are to clean the sponges itself, we try to clean just one of them and then wait a little bit and then clean the other one. Sometimes you can't remember, especially with how many tanks, but a smaller tank, that's good.
And then I don't know how it like shows on camera, but like these 3 tanks are like super clear. That tank right there, it's just dirty glass.
It looks
but
like
this
crap.
tank isn't really that dirty glass, but it is actually like foggy. I would clean that sponge filter right there just because it would help with the water quality overall. So I'll clean the sponge filter themselves, drain the tank ideally at the same time, and then put the sponges back, fill the tank back up, and then when you do, the water is usually crystal clear after that. However, we do have some tanks in the house that no matter how many times you wash the filters, no matter how many times you do water changes on the tank, that Stardust tank is always going to be just foggy, cloudy, dirty. But
so weird.
It produces a lot. And there's a raccoon tank that is the same way, and they produce a ton. But I swear, those 2 shrimp, they're hogs. We feed those tanks more, so there's just more particles probably in the substrate.
It looks so bad right now.
It's just like, and we sell a lot of shrimp out of it, so there's less water in that tank than the rest of the rack.
Give me this one more time.
Yeah. Last chance. We're 3 minutes behind.
Last
again.
chance.
So now we're 4 minutes behind.
Last chance. Hashtag Sam Scales to win the mystery snail print. All right. Thank you so much, Johnny Best, for the $2 super chat. And let's spin this wheel.
Last chance.
Yeah, while I'm refreshing. So you get a second.
What did you say?
While I'm refreshing.
Okay.
42 entries at spin. This time.
Aquarium Fantasy.
Aquarium Fantasy. Make sure you are in chat and make sure to comment below to win that Sam Scales print. Thank you so much, Vibes, for the $1.99 super chat. Says that's a mystery snail. Yes, absolutely loved it. Oh, it's first. Well, you did comment Aquarium Fantasy.
I need my pen.
I need it.
Okay. The next giveaway will be another $25 gift card. What should the hashtag be, Shelby?
We're gonna get real original with this one, okay? We're gonna go back here. And it's gonna get real original here. Hashtag TGOE. Never done before. All right.
And that is for a $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com.
Carrie says, guys, how do y'all do it together with the kids? Full-time RN wife is a teacher, and this is my passion. I'm breeding, selling, shipping, and it's so much to manage. I need to automate my water change. You definitely, if you're doing all of that, you definitely have to try to get in some way of automating the water changes. It would probably take so much stress. Most people that we know that have a job, like a full-time job, and do that, they usually make a system where they can do easier water changes, and it'll probably take a load off your shoulders for sure.
If I had another job, though, I would make it to where I only ship out 1 day a week and all water change and maintenance 1 day a week, and then you just feed before and after you get home from work, depending on what you're keeping. For us, we keep shrimp, and it's every other day, but we both dipped our toes into this and then built it up slowly. There's like times where Shelby's like, oh, well, I'll take care of him when he needs to take care of each other when we need to and stuff like that. She picked up more hours when I try to do this full time, so that way we can make ends meet and stuff like that. But it's definitely something you should build up. Like we were talking about newts earlier. I definitely think if the right person in the right situation started early enough, they can build up. And in any situation of any kind of niche, you can make a living off of it. It's just how much money do you need to make and how soon is the question.
Right. Lady Diane, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I forgot the member code and I have an order. Just spent my discount. If you already did the order, we could also refund the discount, or we can add more depending on which one you want to do. But that's always an option. So thank you so much, Lady Diane.
I don't see an order though, so I'm going to message you the code.
Yeah. And then Mike says, are you liking the new season of Fortnite? We have not tried the new. I know there's a new game mode of like the old OG maps or something like that. The kids have been going crazy about it. Absolutely do not like Fortnite right now. I told the kids I don't like all the, like, what were they calling it? They're like super special weapons or something. Mythic weapons. I am not about that life. We're playing, Let's correct that, because Grant's been working hard. I have not. I've been playing Call of Duty. The new one, the new beta came out. So I have been playing that, and I'm excited for that. So hopefully, maybe that might be my birthday gift this weekend. Maybe. It doesn't even release till October. So, but leaning towards Call of Duty. It's just a little bit easier for me. I guess I'm getting old. Some of those superpowers and stuff are really making me mad when we play Fortnite. I mean, like, hadn't even landed to loot one chest yet, and someone came in with a superpower and smashed me in one hit, and that happened 3 games in a row, and I about lost it. I was like, nope, I'm done.
Were you able to pull out the Aquael tank?
Oh no, I forgot all about that.
So I broke this tank 3 times, finally got it in the aquarium, went to fix it and put it together one final time because I made sure that it fit in the aquarium, and then I made sure that the lid also fit over everything. Well, 1 or 2 little pieces of substrate is stopping it from being able to close, and so I just tried to wiggle it down just a little bit and broke it even more. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to scape the bottom, I'm going to scape the sides, and then I'll scape the top, and then I'll plant everything. And if it breaks in the aquarium while it's doing all that, hopefully it just stays in place and fills up right. Well, I didn't break it a fourth time. Everything stayed together, and it worked out well. I had a bunch of Tropica tissue culture plants left over from the last show, but it wasn't enough, and it wasn't all the right ones. So I went ahead and got another order of boosts, a lot of the Ketigan, and then the narrow leaf. No, it's something else. The spiky leaf.
Don't ask me. I'm not
I
even
can't
listening
remember,
to you.
but the tissue culture cups are really nice, and pretty much filled out the entire tank. There was some glue spots and stuff like that I wanted to cover up top, and I wanted to kind of add in an extra layer. So I did some flame moss at first. It didn't really work that well. Yeah, and then I ended up using some Riccia instead. Not really the best moss to scape with, but if it can stay in the crevices and I can keep it trimmed, and then just take those trimmings and add them to ponds and stuff like that, it'll be worth the extra little work. And I actually really like it now that it's all said and done, put together. I think I'm a little bit happier with it now than I was when it first broke.
Yeah, it definitely looks really cool. It's a showstopper when you come into the house for sure.
And then on top of that, the other Aquael tank, we added a couple more plants to that one as well, just to kind of round it off. I didn't have the plants at the time. We wanted to add in a Madagascar lace plant because it's on the box for the tank that we set up. So there's one of those in there now. We added some Eros and then some pink stem plants, which we had left room for those as well.
Bugsy said, have you guys tried the aquarium co-op test strips? They seem to be very accurate. We will never use test strips.
Yeah.
They're just not as accurate as the drops. So it's not a thing that I will ever do or buy. If someone was to give it to us for free, yeah, I would probably try to see how it differs. But
like, we might buy a box one day just to compare it with the other things. Like, Shelby's been meaning to do a test kit review of, we have now Fritz, Sarah, Fluval, API. We had another Elos company that we used a while ago, and like it's just time to film, put it all together. And there's just so many other videos that we're trying to play catch up on now. I don't know when that video is going to get out, but like once we do that, maybe we'll get some test strips to show how far off they are. But then like also we need to get some like laboratory equipment to show how off the drops can be too. Like all the test kits are either 20 to 40% off, and the test strips are closer to that 40-60% inaccurate.
Rusty said, thanks for all your help as usual. I heard the shrimp will be affected by the color of substrate. Will dreamy blues lighten in color on a white sand substrate?
Yeah, but the blue dreams and blue diamonds are the only two shrimp that I don't mind on white substrate because they don't really lose that much color. They will lose a little bit, but like sometimes the color that they lose would be black on black or darker substrates. So it's definitely one you can get away with. I don't really like anything else on the black or on white substrates other than the blue dreams and blue diamonds.
You got 30 seconds to get in for the next giveaway of a $25 gift card. Hashtag TGOE to make sure you get in for that. Mike said, did you see them scrimps Luke Hop did a video on from Moratis? I'm hoping that's it.
Yeah.
What do you do when new species are found? What considerations do you go through before getting them in?
So we don't import any shrimp at all. I don't try to source. I don't hunt anything down. When there's a new shrimp brought into the United States, I wait generally for somebody else to breed them, and then I buy them off of somebody that I know. It's a homebred source. So something new like that, um, I might, be good friends with one of the importers or something like that brings them in and get a quarantine section of the house going. But at the moment, I'm not interested in doing anything like that. We don't have any parasites. We don't have any fungus or any real issues with any of the import stuff or bringing anything in. So it would be great to go to Madagascar and check out some of the stuff ourselves firsthand, maybe collect some stuff, bring back something ourselves. But I don't really hunt anything down. I kind of wait for somebody else to do that for me.
All right, let's spin that wheel. Hold on 1 second. Turn comment. Refresh. 70 entries. Let's go.
Good luck.
Malcolm Reynolds.
Oh,
Malcolm, you still here?
congratulations.
This.
Sorry.
Make sure you comment below to claim your prize.
I think we're like,
Don't forget tonight, if you do win a prize, do not forget to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com. Otherwise, I cannot get those out to you.
I think we're like
Andy's
5
here.
weeks.
Thank you so much.
5 weeks from seeing you in person, and hopefully you're set to volunteer and help out at Aquashella. It's nice to have you around. Congratulations.
It's been so long since we've been to Chicago. Can't wait. What is the next giveaway?
All right. Let's start it off with a Sam Scales red cherry shrimp print. We are going to do hashtag red cherry, and we'll do that in about 15 minutes.
Thank you so much. Coro said, what kind of aquaponics system? I find better results with the grow bed full of aquaponics media, either flood drain or constant flow, that nutrient film and deep water. If you've ever seen our videos, we used to have a huge grow bed, very successful for a very long time. We're just talking about something that we were able to get from a company. It's called the Versa Garden from AquaL. It is really cool, really simple, just to kind of set up. I've seen a lot of people have it on their tanks at home. This is something for just like a basic fun thing to put over your fish tank. So it's nothing like super crazy, but it will be having the oh my god, hydro balls. What are they
Hydroton,
Hydroton balls.
Leica balls or Leica. I can't remember what somebody else had just called them that recently. I believe Nick or something like that.
Hydroton. That's what we're gonna call them. I don't know why you gotta add this weird name to.
It's because that's what
Yeah,
the other name
they're
of
actually
it.
made out of, probably. We have a couple ideas to get it started to help going, and that's the conversation we're having, because it is a Caridina tank. It's not a fish tank. It's not a Neo-Caridina tank. So this is why we're being a little bit more particular on what we're doing with the plants that are going into this, because we also want them to be successful. We will need to, fertilize it in some way. So it's a lot to go into thinking about how to do this. Otherwise, it would have been up by now. I opened the box. I get the filming of the unboxing done. We just have to now build something, because where we decided usually to put this together, you just drill it right into the wall, and then there's airline. It comes from the sponge filter all the way through and then back into the tank. And then just drill it in the wall. But we don't have a spot where it is to drill into the wall. It's actually just tile. So that kind of nerfed that for a little bit. But we will get on with that as soon as we can. Nano Aquarium Guy, member for 24 months. Yes! So 24 months went fast. It sure did. Congrats on the 40K. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, Jay. Thank you so much.
And back to you right now, so I can.
All right. We did get a bunch more of the grow bins going outside. Moved a bunch of them around. But we did have some like leftover Pogo stem and Halfori or the Downoi plants. I've been meaning to get those out for a long time. One of the pots almost filled up one of the whole bins. I also planted a ton of that and other plants in one of our Dutch grow out style tanks. Um, I'll talk about more of that, and just that's the next topic. But the grow bins outside, uh, because of the winter being so mild, I think everything's really thriving. We've got a ton of swords that are throwing out flowers, and then the flowers you can trim those off and turn those into actual sword plants themselves. We had a bunch of clusters of different kinds of crypts that just need to be broken apart and spread out so they can grow out and turn into own mother plants in themselves. We've got some bins that only had one bin that needed to be turned into 2 or 3 bins. I had a couple pieces of mermaid weed scattered throughout other different bins, so threw them all into their own bin, got them going. A bunch of I had already talked about the swords, but specifically the Amazon swords have been just producing pups like crazy. So I started like 3 bins of just those, getting those to grow out. Amazon swords are like one of our bigger sellers when we go to the shows. It's an easy plant, fills up a large tank. So a lot of the people who aren't even plant people like that plant because of how easy and big it is, fills up the tanks and whatnot. So got those growing for the first time outside in totes. They were just in submerged bins, but now we got them growing immersed. And then we've got a couple other bins going outside that we set up. We moved some things around. The musk turtles are in their own bins, but we're also going to throw in a bunch of plants and stuff like that, get those growing and producing more than just turtle waste.
Richard said, Grant and Shelby, you won't be at the Aqua Expo year, right? Aqua Expo this year, right? You're going to the Clash that weekend. Question.
Yeah, as soon as they announced that show, I said, hey, it's the same weekend as the Keystone Clash. They said we can't change it. I said, well, I'm speaking for the Keystone Clash. Shelby's speaking for the Keystone Clash. So we are going to that instead, and we will be hopefully going to it the following year. But how do you miss the Keystone Clash? Like, you can't. It's a must see show. We plan everything around the Keystone Clash.
Yeah, we really enjoy going up there and seeing all of the friends that we don't get to normally see. So when if it came down to it too, I think we would pick the Keystone Clash because we already see so many people in Florida. Like, we have a lot more opportunities to see you, but like a lot of our followers, friends for a long time in this hobby are able to go to the Keystone Clash. Is so much closer to them. So it'd probably be a priority for us to get over there to see them, just because we can see a lot more people in Florida.
And like, one of the highlights of going to the Aqua Expo is getting to see you and hanging out with you. So I'm hoping you follow us to the Keystone Clash. Always a blast hanging out with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really and I like the Aqua Expo. We always do really well on it. I just wish it wasn't, there's always, we got to pick and choose on which one it is, but we can always make a special day for most of our Floridians somehow, whether they are traveling through and want to stop by, or we make a trip down to see them, because we love traveling through Florida, and it's something I enjoy doing, especially if someone's got a good collecting spot. That's something we're definitely passionate about. It's just getting to know every little bit and piece of collecting in Florida.
And Richard, I will actually need your help in the near future. Not near future, but before the Keystone Clash, preferably. Just fixing up a couple of the things that I'd like a nice professional touch on. So if you got any free time or plans to travel up north, that are not the Keystone Clash, let me know.
Is he the one that can help us with our door?
Yeah.
The greenhouse. That thing has been falling apart for years, and we look at it, we're like, we'll get to it. We never get to it. It's driving me crazy. Mike said, when you use drops to test, do you look through the glass or from the top down? You can't look through the top down from ours because it usually has like a milky white lid. Usually I just pick really good lighting and look through the glass.
I found the chart, by the way, but the best
Cool.
way is to take the glass, hold it up to the chart, and then shine a nice light on it. And that right there, hands down, is the best way to figure out what your exact color parameter is.
Just set up another shrimp tank. I'm hooked on boost plants now. Yes, they are so good for shrimp tanks just because they're so low maintenance. They do take forever to grow. So if it's something that you're looking for, like something to grow fast, don't ever do boost. But when they flower underwater, it's like getting like someone bringing you flowers. And I know men don't really care about that, but it's still exciting.
We get flowers off of our Nubis and whatnot every now and then.
Not as much as
the Boost is hands down the best one.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm catching up on chat.
Hashtag Red Cherry to get in on the Sam Scales print giveaway.
And we're pulling that in 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to keep up on time. Jeff Kane, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm not here. Shelby, when you're heading back from when are you heading back from Chicago? I don't even know what day it is.
It would be Monday morning. Usually with Chicago's Aquashella and whatnot, we tear down on Sunday. We're not always the last ones there. Sometimes the teardown crew is there, but we're usually like one of the last people to leave Aquashella. And it's just too late, and we put in too much work to drive home after those shows. So we have accepted the Monday morning drive homes from the shows at this stage in our late life.
I wasn't really listening to that, but I listened to the last little part. Johnny said 7.5 cube tank fluval stratum, New York City tap water, pH 6.4, KH of 2. Is there any such thing of how you can lower the KH?
Yeah, you got to use RO water and then mix your water, because even though your pH is 6.4, that KH is slowly going to raise that up to having like a 7.2 pH over time. So you got to use RO water, or the other way is distilled water from the store. You need a TDS pen. Make sure that it's like less than 5 TDS before you use distilled water. But an RO unit, hands down, is the best way to go.
Sorry, we were talking about the Keystone Clash pod. It's so funny. I think Steve was like, they're talking about me, in case you wondered. Like, I can already see you saying this in person. So funny. I love it. Rob said, we will be at the Keystone Clash as well. So exciting. And then Tank Girl says, are you going to Daytona Aquashella? Yes, we qualified for the qualifying rounds, the end of the aquascaping contest, each one of us. So we will be there. Yes, we will be there.
We are going to need a lot of help from the Bloomfields and Timothy, and maybe even Mimic could maybe drive down for Daytona again. That would be a blast. Ashley also, right? They helped us last year at Daytona.
Yeah, if they can make it.
But this year at Daytona, we are going to need extra help. And especially since Richard and his wife will not be there, they were a huge help for us last year. No, they were disappointed with it.
Yeah,
I don't blame them, because they're part of the YouTube family, and that's kind of removed from Aquashella. So it's still there in aspects, but it isn't what it used to be. So the Keystone Clash has that. That's why we can't miss that. But yeah,
So Frogs Fishing More will also be at the Clash. Excited to see you. Our Crown Tails
I was gonna say that.
are doing phenomenal. They lasted all winter out in the tubs.
Not all of them. Don't
No,
worry.
yeah.
I would not risk all of them. I actually tried to catch all of them.
Yeah.
I implemented a heater so that way they would all corral around the heater, and then I swooped in with a net and caught all of them in November. And somehow spring was here. I went out to check the ponds. I was grabbing some guppy grass or something, and there was a bunch of crown tail babies and a female just swimming around.
Mhm.
So they have repopulated. They now have the cold tolerant gene. So they are going to be separated for generations and hopefully eons of breeding out in Florida temperatures here.
And they just look
But then
so
we have a
cool.
separate group. Are there still some in the tank down below?
No.
you
I
caught
got
them
all of them, yeah.
So then there is another group now
might be
with
babies.
the musk turtle.
Yeah. So
I bet
excited
there's
for that.
babies.
Yeah, there might be babies in the tank. There was a lot of shrimp, so all right. Last chance, hashtag red cherry for the red cherry scales print.
No, you give that to me.
Oh.
Keep them
My
all
bad.
together.
Give me the pen then. All right. Let's go.
Say please next time.
No.
All right.
53 entries.
Nader.
Nader.
I think that's a new one. Make sure you're in chat and to claim your prize, or we respin. All right.
Is it Nader or is it GNAT orb? You know?
Chad will be at the Keystone. Thank you for joining us.
His hair is getting me.
I apologize.
It's all good
Lady
until it takes
Diane
out an
says you got to
eyeball.
pick me up. Hold on, let me make sure. Yep, they did answer. So make sure to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com to get your prize.
Listen,
All right.
Lady Diane, I don't think it's on the way, but if we ever go to Colorado again, there's no way I'm not stopping in Missouri to see you.
What's
because
the next giveaway?
I hated Missouri. It was absolutely my worst state because I got a speeding ticket on the way to Colorado. But after my last trip, I can no longer say it's even near the bottom of the list of my least favorite states.
Richard said, Grant, just let me know when and I'll be there.
Well, I know you're a busy man. You've got quite the work schedule. So you can give me a free day and maybe we can plan it out. I don't know. Maybe you want to come to one of the talks. Mike Howie. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Maybe it's Howe. I don't know. But Mike from the Fish Tank Barn is our speaker for the Pasco meeting this month. What are you laughing at, Shelly?
Lady Diane said nobody lives in my hood to drive me. I love it. Continue. I'm sorry. Were you done?
No. Well,
I got distracted. Next giveaway. I already did the hashtag.
it's hashtag what?
Thank you
Oh.
for another $25 gift card to our website. Gnator, which I feel like the skater, like the Gnator. I don't know how to say this. What's a good overall food that breaks down into a fine powder? All of the shrimp envies break down.
It doesn't break down to like a fine powder though. Like
Definitely does.
eventually, yeah, but I like the fact that it doesn't. So it's not one that I would recommend. One that I would recommend that breaks down to a powder would be the Mineral Junkie. That would be one.
But that's
Snowflake
not
would
an
be
overall
another.
food because
Barley would be one. Like
Snowflake, yeah. Snowflake's not a fine powder.
not
Snowflake,
fine powder, but it
soft.
breaks down
all of it goes
all-
to a fine powder.
eventually.
Within a day, all the food turns into a powder.
Well,
in
my
the
recommendation is the Mineral Junkie. That will be fine powder. You're gonna love it. Your shrimp are gonna just slurp it up.
I won't recommend the ones that do not break down in days, but Shrimp Envy definitely breaks down to a powder. There's other ones that sit
The
in
shrimp
tanks
usually
for days.
eat it before it turns into
Yeah.
a powder. The Mineral Junkie just turns to mush after like a minute in the water.
Yeah. Sorry, still reading chat.
As much as I need your hair, I don't need it.
Sorry. Mimic will definitely be at Daytona this year. Awesome. We're gonna have to go get that Thai food. That was really good. Or we'll try a different place. But that place was pretty good.
Oh, I'm down to get that one Thai food place again, and then maybe try something else. But you gotta go back to that one. That one was good. Nice atmosphere.
Lady Diane says, I'm just a babysitter, but I'm a good one. Cough, cough. Nano said, are you still going to... Oh, that's for Richard. I should read them before I read it out loud. Ashley may be able to attend Daytona Aquashella. That would be amazing. I definitely need some help for sure. When is the Daytona event? That is in November?
Yeah, I think it's November 2nd and 3rd. Don't quote me on that. Go ahead and head over to aquashella.com to check out the events dates for Chicago and Daytona if you're interested. Back to me. Should I talk about the douche tank?
What?
The Dutch tank?
Yeah.
So we have the fluval tanks. They were taking up space.
Oh, she's on the way to Chicago.
Are you, though? Because I don't think we passed through Missouri, do we?
I don't know. We'll have to check that out. We'll put it in. We'll plug it in. We have your address now. I need to save that. I need to get a little address book. Sorry.
But we've been slowly just adding plants here and there. At the North Carolina show, I grabbed a couple of plants, threw them in the tank. They did really well. So at it wasn't the last North Carolina show either. It was like 2 North Carolina shows that I got that at. And then in Connecticut, the tank from the Aquascape contest, I took some stems out of there, and I got some nice crypts, some Nuri Rosen Maiden, whatever they're called, from our auction. And I'm just kind of throwing everything in there with the Eros and the Downy from Tropica. And I'm really happy with it. The tank's coming out really well. And I think what I'm going to do with that tank is run a series where I'm going to see how far I can push the growth and make that tank look how nice I can get it without CO2. And then when I've accepted defeat, that there is nothing better, you got to move the fan like slightly angled because it's right in my face, half the screen now. But I'm going to take it and see how far I can push it without CO2 and then add the CO2 and see if the CO2 is really worth it or not. Right now, I'm kind of adding a little substrate, trying to get enough in to make it a planted tank because it didn't start out that way. It started off with, we got a bunch of stuff from Plamsky and I needed somewhere to put it. Let's set up this aquarium real quick and throw it all in there. But we've got most of the moss out of there to a new home, so it is now a Dutch tank. There's some straggling mini Pelly and Physidans running around there, though.
G Nader said, doesn't have to be fine, but one that's good for babies. So we
Any
don't...
of our foods.
Yeah. Any of the foods that we sell. I do like Shrimp Envies just because it does break down and there's plenty of them for them to go around. And that's the one I enjoy the most. We don't do powdered food just because it can usually muck up the tank. You're distracting me looking at
the newt tanks. I'm sorry. There's no newts in them yet, but they're almost done.
Rusty says, have you guys kept predator tanks since a lot of the predator fish live in Florida?
But why is that light off? I just noticed that.
I don't know. There's a lot of lights off in the house we got to fix. We should put that on the list.
So we have kept like Oscars and Jack Dempsey's.
Oscar.
We had a really nice
All
electric
those
blue Jack
predators.
Dempsey when we first started dating. That I set up a whole breeding colony of feeder fish just to feed the Jack Dempsey that would rescape his tank every single day.
I love bigger fish for sure. If I could have more like outdoor tanks and stuff like that for predator fish, that'd be cool. I also wanted. We can't keep them here, which really sucks. But piranha, I would absolutely keep a piranha tank in a heartbeat. Um, but yeah, we've had Oscars were my favorite fish to begin with. I haven't had an Oscar in God knows how long. They're just a lot more work, so we don't really do them.
I'd like one maybe in the future when we have like a warehouse and I dedicate just one predator tank or something like that, but not anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Aquarium Fantasy, is there a website that tells me every fish event in Florida? I don't know Florida specific, but I'm pretty sure the Fish Fam link. So fishfam.link that we use the giveaway. I believe it also has a calendar of all events that are happening.
Yep.
So anytime they know something, they do try to update it. Rusty says, I know Shelby wouldn't keep a predator tank. No, I enjoy them for sure. That was what we were mainly into. Grant's the one that actually does shrimp. When we started keeping shrimp, I even joked with him that I thought he was just going to keep shrimp so I could feed them to my fish. That I thought it was insane for him to keep shrimp. That's a good source of food for sure.
We're more likely to have a predator reptile. Like I'd be seriously interested in getting like a hybrid snapping turtle. The common alligator hybrids would be right up my alley.
This person's funny. Says, by the way, my username is a play on my name, so I guess it would be GNat Orb. My name is also Grant.
But it's not GNat. It's Nat. That's how you spell Nat, isn't it?
Yeah. Nat
Yeah,
Orb.
right.
Nat Orb. Bugsy says, do you break up Mineral Junkie or do you put the pellet in? Depends on the amount of shrimp in the tank. Or if it's snails, we put several pellets in. But it's so easy to break it up. It's just like, it's mush. So you just break it up. If you have like a small amount, I usually feed like a half a stick.
But never less than a half a stick.
First time I'll usually put in, it really depends because sometimes they don't break properly in the tube. So like they're like this long. So like that's clear. But it's hard to see. But like this size would be perfect to throw in. Yeah, thank you. And
nice to meet you, Grant, by the way. You just jumped on that way too quickly.
There's too many of you, Grants. But just throw it in, that whole pellet. If they don't eat it, they'll eat it in a few days. It's not too bad, but don't feed that much again.
I don't really worry about the babies getting powdered foods and stuff like that. The babies should be grazing off of biofilms and other things like that. If you're feeding enough pellet food, then the adults are eating the pellet food and not eating all the biofilm that the babies should be eating. So I don't worry about feeding the babies. I worry about feeding the adults so that there's still enough natural food for the babies.
Lady Diane says that she's on I-55, merges at the Arch, and she's 25 minutes from there. Might be a nice little break. I'll have to see.
And your Vienna guppies are doing amazing, though, by the way. Mm-hmm. We have 3 different ponds of those now set up outside because they are massive in size, and we needed some mosquito control. So those went in there instead of me having to move around fish every other day.
And there's babies inside, so we'll see how those do. Those are just so cute.
I picked out 2 really
still
nice
not enough
males
for us, though.
One of the ponds.
We need thousands of them to feel comfortable enough to like sell any. Matt asked if your beard would flow in the wind like my hair.
No, the beard
so
is very
thick.
very thin right now. It's too hot. You gotta catch me like end of No Shave November.
Lady Dice, I'm trying to get them back here before a year passes. Johnny said, where can I buy online specific rock structures like in your skate tank rather than any random ones online? I don't know anyone that sells them that wouldn't break in
UNS, I think,
shipping.
has
Oh, you think so?
little structure scapes. I don't know what size tanks and stuff like that, but yeah, like Shelby said, it's kind of hard to keep them together.
Big Steve said, what kind of newts are you guys doing?
So we have Eastern newts and the Spanish rib newts. I would like to get another newt, like the Kaiser newt or something like that also, but for now, that's what we have.
Lady Diane, water puppies, those Oscars, yes, for sure. But it was like my first fish I really fell in love with and enjoyed so much because they're just so personal. I got it to jump out of the water to feed out of my hand and things like that. So aquarium.
I could see us collecting in South Florida, finding another school of Oscars, bringing them home, and then just one of them being super personable, or like one of our koi fish is like a puppy dog. All the other koi are like normal, run of the mill, just hungry savages of koi fish. But then one is all like real playful, wants to be seen, backsob, just you can tell he's got a different personality, doesn't really swim with the rest of the koi fish and stuff like that. So I could see us finding like an Oscar like that and then keeping that one and having one day or something that we collect like that. But
Aquarium Fantasy said you need a pet gator. You do not know how many times we've almost come home with a pet gator or mainly crocodile.
one day.
Cayman crocs to be specific, because obviously you don't want a full-grown gator down here. Like that's not smart, especially if you're not set up for it. But like Cayman croc, we could be set up for no problem. We need licenses for that. That's the only reason we don't have one. Otherwise, we'd probably have one by now. So fun fact. But anyways, hashtag thank you. And to get in for that giveaway, about to pull it right now.
Hashtag red cherry.
No, it's hashtag thank you. I just said it.
Hashtag thank you.
65
I
inch.
Chad Massbergen.
Chad, make sure you comment
Congratulations.
below to get your prize. It's for the $25 gift card. Cara said, red eye crocodile skinks are cool. Yes, when they first hit the market, it was absolutely the first thing. I ran over to him. We had just gotten out of like all our reptiles, and we went to like a reptile show, and I saw this, and it looked like a little dragon to me. And I ran back to Grant. I'm like, you have to see this. You have to see this. And he's like, oh, I've seen them before. And I'm like, I've never seen one in person though. Can I take it? I wanted to take it home, but I was like, I don't know what to do for these. Not smart.
I remember them because they were at the very first Daytona Reptile Expo that we went to. They're on the very first wall that we saw walking in.
Mm-hmm. Chad is still here. Thank you so much.
All right. We're going to do one more giveaway before the PNW tanks. But next giveaway is going to be hashtag what's in Shelby's hair.
That's way too long.
A Sam Scales print.
I'm not typing that in.
So what's in Shelby's hair is wish. Hashtag wish.
You didn't even hit create, but thank you. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm so done with you.
So we have a Sam Scales purple metallic print. Hashtag wish. What's in Shelby's hair? It's a print this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're too much.
Karma's really coming at me over here. I could really fluff this out and like really.
My hair doesn't get as poofy as it used to, though.
Yeah, I had like a good
Could you imagine?
tight going on though.
I got some weird conditioner that like flattens my hair. Oh, I would look like a Pomeranian right now if I had using the other ones. Did we answer what kind of newts we were doing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't listening. Making sure. Have a good night, Dr. Anthony. Thanks for joining us tonight.
You didn't want what was in Shelby's hair?
No, his battery was dying. Zach says, don't forget to change your air filter. It's getting hot.
Actually, that is what I'm doing
We were
tomorrow.
talking- we were
There's
just
2
talking
things
about
on my to-do list tomorrow, and take care of the AC filter and the radiator outside. If you didn't know, you have to spray down the radiator outside too. Keep that thing clean.
Have a good night, Vibes. Thanks for joining us. Pumpkin Coffee said, set up a 9-gallon for my blue dreams. The only one breeding is the accidental blue jelly. I love blue jellies. Most people actually, we don't have those as common in the hobby as they used to be. So you'd probably do really well with them. So it's not like it's too bad. And blue
We're
jellies
actually
look
about to
prettier.
move ours outside and into another 10-gallon tank.
I can't believe how many we have right now. It's so nice to see. We actually have like 2 tanks, so it's nice to be able to finally feel comfortable enough to throw them outside. Get the mandarin newts. Sell them for big money. Mandarin newts.
I've never
I
heard
have
of
to
those.
see what those are.
Do you have my phone?
No, it was in the corner over there.
It's lost and I cannot. Oh, I put it underneath the prints. Pull
Oh,
up
those
Emperor
are cute.
Newts, though. You didn't pull
Oh.
out the right thing.
No, it's a mandarin newt or emperor
Oh.
newt. Yeah, those are cute. I've seen those before. I just know them as emperor newts.
Are they fully aquatic though? Because they look like they're on land more than in the water.
Passing Wind says eyebrows are weird. As we get older, women don't have enough of them and men have too much. It's too true. I already read that. Sorry. Welcome in, Stephen P. Getting so close. Only like 3.5 weeks, right? Till we see you guys.
Yeah.
Foxy says, do you know of any good sources for lesser sirens? I have fallen in love.
I believe
Once
once we get our collecting permit in place, sirens are something that we will be able to have. We catch them every now and then when we go collecting. I've got a bunch here at the house, but I love them myself. They're our own personal little pets, but it will be Newt, and then Siren Tank, though, now that you said something.
Yeah, that'd be cool to get those breeding. Rob says, we got a new reptile pet this weekend. Ooh, I think I saw something online about it.
I can't remember what you got, but was it a mate for the other one you already have? I can't remember what kind of skink is it. Is it a skink?
Don't ask me. I'm
I
really
can't
bad at
remember now.
remembering things. Oh, I can't even think right now. Keith, thank you so much for gifting one Garden of Eater membership. Make sure if you do get a gifted membership to email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com so we can send out your member-only sticker and your member discount. Don't forget, if you have won a gift tonight from our giveaways, to also email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com so you can redeem those. And I'm going to leave this to Grant. I will be back in a minute.
I was gonna say how long?
I'll be
The
back.
whole stream.
I'll be back. There's no comment right now, so continue.
So she had brought up Stephen P. is in chat, and we will be seeing him in 3.5 weeks at FOTOS, the Federation of Texas Aquarium Societies or something. I can't remember what the acronym for that actually is, but it is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's like the 19th and 20th and 21st of next month. Really looking forward to going out there, maybe getting some beignets. I don't know. Been getting a lot of really bad ones. So I told Shelby, there's this one place where we should go, give them one last chance, and maybe she'll like beignets yet. But so Bloomfields, Rob said, I have 3 emerald tree skinks, a gargoyle gecko, a crested gecko, But this weekend we got a panther chameleon, and Ray named him Shrimp. Oh, that's the name of our dog. What kind of panther chameleon? We used to breed Ambelobe, and we also had Nosy Fally and Nosy Bee, and we also kept Jackson and Veiled and a Mellor's chameleon also. But the panther chameleons were like my first real crack at doing any breeding with genetic wise. I was trying to do a purple barred Ambelobe before they were really a thing, but I'm not that patient, and it's like incredible how long the reproductive rate of chameleons is. You put a pair together for like 3 days, and then the female takes like 30 days to lay her eggs, and then once the eggs are laid, it takes like anywhere from 16 months for those eggs to hatch. And then at 2 months, you can start selling the babies. But you don't know if that male is going to be a dud or a stud until he's about a year old. So you have to hold on to your livestock for so long before you can let them go, or else you can give somebody a really nice chameleon for a good deal. But that's the cool thing about chameleons. If you buy them young, you never know what you're going to get when they grow up. But females are ugly, so hopefully you got a nice male. Hashtag wish. What's in Shelby's hair? It is a purple metallic print. Do you guys still have Aquachar? I believe there is still like 3 portions left. I've already contacted Brian, told him I need more. So waiting for him to make more to send me another batch. But there is still three batches. If it's not on the website, send me a message. I definitely have some. I found some in the cupboard, a 2-pack portion too. So I've got it if somebody's looking for it. Oh, yeah. Lady Diane says it is on the website. She just saw it. But I'm bad at reading chat and talking to you guys at the same time. Yeah, Nosy Bees are all blue. They might have like a little bit of white to them also. And then the Nosy Fally that we had was red, white, and blue. And they can also have like a little bit of green to those ones also. But I like the Ambelobe. The Ambijanas are cool too. I can't remember the last locale. I think there's more to them now actually too. I miss Steven's. Coffee call is decent for beignets, but they are all just donuts in a square with powdered sugar, or funnel cake in a square. Yeah, that is right. It's just I'd like some soft ones. Steven, is that the place with giant trash cans of powdered sugar? That's what Zen said. That'd be interesting. We were at the Florida State Fair and they were doing the funnel cakes. It was just clouds of powdered sugar going everywhere.
It was crazy. It's really messy too, but it's because it was a little windy. It didn't help. Were you not reading fast enough?
I guess not.
Chameleons are like a box of chocolates. Dr. Chow says, when setting up a tank, what type of bacteria powder do you use?
So we use the Microbacter 7. It is a liquid. We don't use a powder. It is from Brightwell Aquatics. It has 7 different strains of bacteria in it. We had somebody ask on Facebook the other day, how often do you set up tanks where they fail? And almost all of our aquariums off the rip are successful. Like on the old rack, or the last rack that we just set up, I think was the most issues that we've ever had. And that was my fault for using a substrate that already has bacteria built in it with the Microbacter 7. And we tested some of the aquariums on the rack to see if they were fully cycled, but not all of them. And I think that the two bacterias kind of battled one another and they slowed things down. So we had issues at first with those aquariums, but now all of those tanks have shrimp in them. Most of those tanks have babies. So it maybe didn't work in 30 days, but after 60, 90 days, all of our aquariums have done pretty well. But all the ones where we use just straight Microbacter 7 have always done phenomenal. So that will be my go-to bacteria until somebody hands me a bottle of something and I give it a try, and it works wonders beyond what we're already using.
Don't forget #wish. We're gonna pull that next prize, which is the Sam Scales print of the purple metallic. It is beautiful.
You know, I'm really happy that it came out with a nice acronym for what's in Shelby's hair, because like we are going to be using that hashtag in the future for a lot of giveaways.
Yeah. All right. Let's spin that wheel. 59 entry.
Johnny Dan's Fish.
Johnny, make sure you're still in chat and
It's right here. I don't know why you handed it back to me, but congratulations, Johnny. You have won a metallic purple Sam Scales print.
Oh, my phone stopped working. I was wondering what was going on.
But the next giveaway, though, is probably the biggest one of the night. Thank you, Harley from PNW Customs. He gave us not one, but 2 aquariums to give away. Tonight, though, we are going to give away one. We'll save the other one for the 50K giveaway. However, whoever wins tonight will get to choose between the black or the white micro 40-ounce custom aquarium, built-in sump, LED light, everything that you need to get started on your own little micro nano aquarium is included. So you will be able to take this to your work, office space, wherever, and hopefully set up an aquarium like Crypt Keeper did and many other people. So you get to choose which color you'd like.
Simply said, any way to help ramshorns survive in Caridina parameters. I have received on, I'm assuming received some on Ficidins I got from you. Super little right now.
Honestly, it's going to be over time. The pH kind of gets to them, and none of our aquariums where the ram's horns are in our low pH aquariums get really big. On occasion, you get like a gladiator snail that gets massive in size, and he's just a tank. But he looks like he's been like a tank that's been riddled in war. Like there's holes and stuff from the low pH just melting the shell. So high calcium foods, high mineral foods, high protein, feeding them, making sure they have plenty of food and stuff is really the best thing you can do. Water changes is going to help, making sure there's good mineral content. Higher TDS will help and stuff like that. But for the most part, ram's horn snails are so prolific. What ends up happening is, like, as juveniles or young adults, they end up laying eggs before their shell kind of melts away and they die off, or they just never get that big in my Caridina tanks. So if they're already doing good and you get some babies, chances are life finds a way and you'll get a good breeding colony going, unless your pH swings and drops even lower, and then they're going to kind of die off from that.
Randy said, hey man, I got a breeding group of yellow golds on Wednesday. If I let the water set for 48 hours, will it be okay to put them in it?
A lot depends on like what you did to set up the aquarium and stuff like that. I've done things where we've had to move aquariums from here to another place and put the shrimp in the same day. If you test parameters and there's no ammonia, no nitrates or nitrites, then you should be good.
Christy S., member for 14 months, thank you so much. Said, I scraped the eggs from my Neo Mama and net. Babies when? Question mark.
On average, about 30 days from the time that she dropped them. So if it was the end of the cycle, it could be any day now. If it was in the beginning, you could have 25 days left on the clock or so.
Alishon said, isn't the glades loaded with...
Our kids are in there.
No, that was a firework.
Maybe.
It starts early here, and I know it's our neighbors who are going to do them for the next 2 months afterwards. Isn't the glades loaded with chameleons, panthers, and veils?
I wouldn't say loaded because we've been down there and haven't gone in any specific locations for chameleons yet. I do have a club member that we've met recently, and he's shared with me a couple locations. So the next time I go down Richards Way, I'll go check out a couple spots. But it's not an infestation. We saw more ball pythons than we have, not ball pythons, Burmese pythons, than we have any chameleons. So the veileds are definitely, yeah, that's fireworks. The veileds are definitely out there. The panthers, I heard there's a spot in like Ocala, which is north of the Everglades. So I'm sure there's some in Homestead and stuff like that too. But a lot of those locations are kept secret because the people, instead of having to breed and feed, they can just go and collect and then sell them. So what's up?
I think the kids are getting scared from the fireworks. I'm just not hearing a second pop, so it's weird. I'm gonna go check on that.
No, you stay.
This might be a dumb question, but can you use beach driftwood in a freshwater tank? My gut says no, but wanted to check. I mean, if you cleaned it good enough, it's still wood. Usually it's just wood that fell off and drifted in. So if you were to depends on how big it is. If you want to bake it, boil it, rinse it, things like that. And check on that. That would probably be just fine. Why did you put this tank here? Sorry. Reading chat. Yeah, Everglades, we're always looking for chameleons, but we don't see them as much. I know there's a lot of people that know spots, especially you'll see a video. They obviously know some of the spots that are infested and actually have. Sometimes it looks like they're just, putting their own chameleons out there to do content. So you really got to be aware of that. But we've looked everywhere, and especially people that are local don't even have a spot in the Everglades that they've seen them. Doesn't mean it's not perfect conditions and there's not a spot out there for them, but definitely glad to hear for sure. That's one of my favorite prints for sure, is that metallic one. Is so nice. And it's got to be fireworks because they have still going on. It's just such a weird popping noise. I wonder if is that a normal thing up north or anywhere else? Do people start celebrating 4th of July this early too, or is it just crazy Floridians? So we get away with a lot of things. So I don't know. What is the work/office thing? I don't know. Rob said, you think the Blue Bee Paracarinina would work in that PNW micro tank? Probably not. That would be nice, but I would not put Caridina in this tank. I would more likely just do Neos, just because it is a smaller of a tank that they get a little bit more stressed out. They don't breed as well. Sorry if it's awkward while I'm reading. Don't know how to just randomly talk. Welcome in, Lady R. Thank you so much. Bugsy says, if you have one orange-eyed shrimp pop out in a colony, how should you go about breeding that shrimp out into more orange-eyed shrimp? You can selectively breed them and put them in like a breeder box with another shrimp that you want. But most likely just leave it in there and you'll get more if it is truly an orange-eyed shrimp. I know, like sometimes we could add in just like one orange-eyed yellow King Kong into a different Caridina tank, and they'll all start breeding, and you'll get more and more. Takes some time, definitely does, but they'll work. Just don't boop a spider. I love spiders. We actually leave. I don't like spiders in general. Like I definitely could not take one crawling on me. But we do leave them in the house. If they do get out of their little home, I'm sorry, they're dead. But if you live in your little home and you stay away from me, you're good. You land on me, you're dead. And I don't mean to. It's just a natural reaction. Did you see who's let them off?
Nope.
No? That's so strange.
Stopped as soon as I went outside.
Oh, they heard the door open. That's why.
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Make sure you do hashtag PNW to win either the white or black micro reef ready tank. I wish to set this up as actually having like a little reef tank, but we would need a big reef tank. So, thank you so much, Nick, for joining us. Said congrats. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, Mike says yes, it's normal for 4. Okay. I was wondering if it was like a thing that only happened in Florida because like we're all crazy. You know, Florida's just like its own thing. So I just didn't know. And then Bugsy says, no, it sounds like Bob's outside my house up here in New Jersey. I just find that strange. Like that's not like an illegal thing, but I guess cops have too much to do anyways. Yeah,
But
Chevy
Thea-
says come there.
Thea doesn't seem like she's freaking out too much, so
Yeah.
I don't like to be that neighbor, but it is the dog. So back to me? Oh, no. Oh, never mind.
I'm
3
so
more minutes until the
I'm
giveaway.
so sorry to hear about that, Oinky. I hope your dad recovers soon. Thank you for joining us. I mean, if you have something to say, I'm just trying to read.
Mm-mm.
Mike says, I have the same type of spider rule. I let them live near the front door. They act as bouncers. Yep, they actually really good. They are good for bug control, which bugs happen everywhere, and they just really do help take care of it. So, but I just can't, like, I have a natural reaction to squish bugs, and it sucks, but it's going to happen. Stephen P. says, can you raise brine shrimp in this tank? Been wanting to try full salt. Oh, in this tank.
I have no idea. I would do Opabula in these tanks. Like,
Oh my
if
God,
you
that'd be
seriously
crazy.
wanted a shrimp that would do really well in these little tiny
Could you raise
setups.
Opula in the PNW?
Yeah.
Because it'd probably be super easy to do the brackish water change. It would, yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to escape one of these and put Opabula in them
Yeah.
and make it look really nice.
Just do, you can break up the limestone, make little limestone rocks and ledges. It'd be so cute. Harley does have these pre-made things too. You could order off his website. They're like pre-made rock structures for the tanks. So those are
They're
pretty
little
cool.
tiny arches, though. When somebody asked
Yeah.
earlier, like, oh, does anybody make pre-made arches or
yeah.
anything like that?
Specified
These are
for
not
these.
something we would recommend
Yeah.
for anything other than these little tiny tanks.
They're so cute. They're little.
Which I don't think that's what you were asking
No.
for.
Mimic Nate. That's why I didn't say it was
I
for
know,
them.
I know, but it's
Mimic
just
Nature
the
member
same
for
screen
10
kinda
months.
funny.
Thank you so much. Oh. Sorry. You're just awkwardly staring at the screen.
I don't know. I'm trying to read too.
Only Oscars, thank you so much for re-upping your YouTube membership. Thank you.
I was just thinking the neighbors heard our footsteps. My
See-
footsteps. That's why they stuck
They
in
heard the
fireworks.
door shut. That's for sure. I wish that they would change this to where it didn't say new YouTube member. It just said like re-up their or
Yeah.
re-continued, so you could just keep going.
I
Alishon
appreciate
says
that. Thank
Joro spiders are soon to arrive. What are those? You guys coming up with these weird names? Are you the banana spiders? Yeah, the orb weavers, right? Yeah, these things are cool.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about spiders.
I would never. These ones freak me out for sure. They look so dangerous. Isn't this the same spider they used in Jumanji? I feel like it is. Like they copied it or something. But yeah, they're really cool. Like we have so many spiders like that in our area that I don't know if those are
Like
dangerous.
I
or not.
do little tiny jumping spiders and stuff like that.
Yeah, those
but
are cute. That video from Disney that put out to make spiders seem more friendly definitely helped me a lot with spiders. Like, I'm not kidding. I feel like a little kid, but like, it just looks so cute. And you're like, oh, it's so harmless. It's so adorable. Like, it's such a cute video. And to see close up videos of jumping spiders, they just look like soft little cuddly creatures.
I like doing tarantulas and stuff like that. I don't see myself ever doing that.
Bugsy says you guys should send me some TGOE stickers so I can put them in the high-rise buildings I work on in New York City. That'd be cool. In Philly. We got to make new stickers. We have yet to get on that. We are struggling. We only have the membership ones, but
I blame you.
I know it is all my fault.
It is time to do the tank giveaway, and then we'll do 2 more quick giveaways.
You're throwing that on me. I didn't know we were doing 2 more.
Yeah, it was 4 Sam Scale prints, 4 $25 gift cards, and the PNW tank.
All right, last time, hashtag PNW. Refresh one more time. 73 entries. Good.
Between the black.
Dylan Neff.
Dylan, make sure you're
Crazy.
here.
I saw you place your order last week, and I grew up with one of my childhood friends. Last name was Neff, and I've never met another Neff until just now.
Make sure you're here to claim your prize. It takes forever. You can tell who can. It's on, and then some people it takes a minute.
And then just let us know in the email whether or not you want the black or the white one.
Yep. Woohoo! Thank you.
And make sure you email us at the link that Zen sent us. Thank you, Zen.
All right. What is the next hashtag?
The next hashtag is hashtag 25. That's it. Just for $25 gift card.
Real original here.
You not $3.25. Hashtag 25. It's for a $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com. I've had a couple people ask us about 4th of July sales and stuff like that. Haven't thought of anything, but I do need to go through and update the website. I know there's a bunch of plants that we have that we've gotten quarantined now for a while that are doing really well. They're ready to be shipped out, so I'll get those on the website, as well as a few other things. Some shrimp. I don't think we'll do any of the blue velvets just yet, but as soon as I know they're acclimated and I see buried ones in one of the other 2 tanks, I will add those onto the website as well. What are you looking for?
I think it's been Thea trying to get into the bedroom, freaking out about the fireworks, and that's why I kept hearing the door open, because that's Shrimp. Of course, he doesn't react to fireworks because he's deaf. Could you imagine? He'd probably lose his mind on fireworks if he was anything like his mother. She would crawl. Their mother would crawl into the kids' bathtub because she'd be so scared. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, you'd have to go cuddle her. Poor baby. Cherie said spiders are really misunderstood cuties. Some of them for sure.
I just don't want to work with the bugs that have to feed them and stuff like that. Like, we've got a big banana spider in the greenhouse too.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love looking at them. I admire how beautiful they are. But when one got on me in the middle of walking through the woods, I don't think anyone's ever reacted like they're gonna die in a horror film other than me. Like I was the typical white girl that like tripped over the stick, fell screaming. Oh, Easy V Rider said, "Will Opalula survive and reproduce in my saltwater reef tank?" I think it's too much for them.
I don't know if they will. I've had other people ask me if they survive in full fresh, and I haven't done it, and I feel like if other people have tried it and it worked, it would be a thing by now. But I did have a friend who had Neocaridina culls in with his anemone and clownfish.
That's crazy.
So maybe Neos, maybe Opaula, but I'd also say our Opaula salinity is probably higher than normal. Like it's evaporated for a while.
Thank you, Lady Diane. Cara said, my other half doesn't do spiders at all. I'm not even allowed to have jumping spiders. Thought about setting up a terrarium and getting some anyway. He'd never know, right? Actually, you probably could do like a really cool like terrarium with like the fairy lights and all the fairy little things. And like, if he ever just sees it, just be like, oh, it's just a fake one. I just really want one.
Or just be like, it was a hitchhiker on a plane.
Oh, I didn't know that was in there. Says,
I'm too scared to get it out. Will you get it for me?
That's a good one. Oh, man. That's so funny. That's one of the things I've been considering, but like, I don't even have the time for all the stuff I have. I'm not adding more unless it's like chameleons and stuff that like our kids are going to want to do.
And hashtag 25 for a $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com.
Mimic said, Grant, I back crossed my black fancy tigers, crossed with orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, crossed with orange-eyed red devils, and got orange-eyed. Used 7 females and got a wide range of phenotypes in the F3s.
Yeah. Because of the F2s all had the orange-eyed genes, you crossed them with more orange-eyed genetics. So, but be careful with the way you describe that, because technically you have F2s crossed with a new shrimp, it would make an F1 of a new variety. So I have like certain scenarios where I've crossed like tangerine tigers with shadow pandas, and then at like F3 I added in more Taiwan bees or something like that, so I still considered those babies F4. But there's even some people that gave me crap for doing that should have been a whole new F1 altogether. But then I'm like, it kind of takes away from the other part of the project. So I've always thought about maybe doing generation like G1, G3, but like I think that doesn't work out either. Like we need a new terminology for shrimp breeding, genetics, and maybe other morphs for other creatures as well it could work for. But a lot of things that we've done in the reptile world has transferred over. Like the only reason why I know heterozygous from homozygous is because leopard geckos are het for certain genetics. That's how I put 2 and 2 together. Otherwise, I could never remember.
Cora said, I will say Malaysian trumpet snails will live in full fresh, not forever, but a year or 2 for sure. All our Malaysian trumpet snails are actually freshwater. There is species that are specifically saltwater trumpet snails, but most of ours are freshwater. You do need to make sure you feed them calcium for them to grow, but we get ours pretty big, and they live quite some time and breed very prolifically.
Do you need full salt, though?
Maybe.
And we have some brackish trumpet snails, not Malaysian trumpet snails.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, there's trumpet snails all over the world, though. And they don't live in freshwater. So all right, do the giveaway. Hashtag 25. It is your last chance to get in on the $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com. We've got 64 entries. Spin the wheel.
Nancy B. in Tennessee.
Nancy B.
In Tennessee, you got to rhyme it. You got to say the last little bit. So congratulations. Now, the final giveaway, and I'm assuming Nancy B is there. The final
Usually.
giveaway will be for, is it a Cardinal Tetra? I
Don't
believe
ask
it's a
me.
Cardinal Tetra and not a Neon Tetra.
I believe so.
Maybe
We're
not.
just gonna put Tetra.
I think it's a Neon Tetra. Now that I look at the chest, I think the Cardinals have more red
Round.
underneath
I thought
them.
they were rounder too. But
All right.
hashtag Tetra.
I was going to do hashtag scales.
We already did Sam's.
Did we do Sam scales? We
Yeah.
did Sam scales, not scales.
It's a neon. Yeah, you're right.
I'm glad I can tell my Tetras apart. Happy.
In a tank, I could tell them apart instantly. But like on any drawing, I have a struggle. Yeah, I have Malaysian trumpets from you in full salt. Okay, yeah. He thought you meant that. Oinky says, can Neo Skittle groups transition to brown quickly? Member for 17 months. Thank you so much, Oinky.
Yeah, so the problem is when you mix different color Neocaridina together, you do have a very high chance of getting the wild type Neocaridina. A lot of the wild types are clear, translucent, maybe some striping. Some of them are brown, bluish. Every now and then you get some reddish looking wilds also. But the problem is they're dominant. So any of the wilds that breed with any of the pretty ones, all the babies are going to turn out wild. So once you get the Skittles going and you get some wilds in the colony, if you don't remove them, your majority of the babies that will come out will be wild because of how dominant the genetics are.
Is this the last giveaway?
This is the last giveaway. We're wrapping it up at the
Yeah.
top. Well, not the top of the hour because we did start late. Not as late as last week. You know, we were awake. I started to fall asleep today. Not gonna lie. Started to like, oh, maybe I'll take a nap. But then I was like, no, I ain't pulling a repeat of last week. And I got up and I put all the Eros and the lace plant and some stems in the Aqua L high tech tank.
Have a wonderful night, Lady Diane. Thank you for joining us, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Always a pleasure. And you'll be getting extra goodies with your order just because we've had it for so long and then refreshed it. So you'll get both. You get both.
We're caught up in chat.
I thought it
For
said
once.
hashtag extra, and I was like, no, that's something else. This is hashtag Tetra.
Whoa.
It's been a great week for the support and everybody joining to get the 40K. Really appreciate that. We have a short of the update of the greenhouse out. So if you want to check out what that looks like, leave a comment on what tubs of what color shrimp you think we're going to add. And then actually have something I'm doing in the greenhouse that I said I wouldn't do anymore, but I'm going to do it because it's on a smaller scale. So if somebody can guess what that is in the short video, I will give them a $50 gift card to the website. So it's something I said I wasn't going to do before in the past on many live streams about the greenhouse, but I'm doing it anyways.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will as soon as we sign out.
I didn't hear the whole conversation. So. Thank you, everybody. I see all of your congrats, and we appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's pull it because we only got 30 seconds left.
It's for the Tetra. Get in. Last chance. What?
Passing one's comment. Snoochie says, have a buddy getting in the hobby, and I sent him to your website for his shrimp tank. Hope he hits you up. Thank you so much, Snoochie Booch.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's refresh and draw. 53 entries. I like that one the
Tank
most.
Girl 71.
Tank Girl, thank you for joining us, and I'm pretty sure you're still here. Just make sure to comment below.
Sorry, Tank Girl 70. You just missed it. But hopefully everybody that won something tonight will email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com. It also helps to email what you won, just so it's
I wrote
there
it
for
down
us to
this
cross
time, but yes.
reference. But
If you don't do
It
it
does
this
help.
week, please do that.
just making sure that Tank Girl is there. Yep, there they go.
No, thank you. Awesome.
Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all the support. It's really taken us a long way. We're able to do things this year that we didn't think was really that possible before we started doing YouTube. So you guys have
All
made
thanks to
a
you
lot
guys.
of this possible. So really appreciate it. I don't know if we mentioned it last week that we were going to have a really big announcement this week. It's probably not going to happen this week. The thing is still happening, but it's just not the right time to announce it. So maybe next week. So, all right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful